Hi guys, this is your reading for Tuesday the 12th of December. I'm using the Cosmic Tarot again today. Let's have a look at what's coming up for you today. I'm going to choose 3 cards here to give you an insight into the day's energy and what you'll be working with. So I'm being prompted to pull the cards from the back this time. So we've got the Ten of Wands in reverse, Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and the Three of Swords upright. Okay, that's interesting. So, first of all, the Ten of Wands doesn't look particularly happy there, does it, with Saturn ruling the sky? Ten of Wands is about really being bogged down and being burdened by all of the problems that you've got and really struggling with that. Saturn being the planet of structure and restriction, sometimes it can just feel a bit much. It can be a little bit too heavy, but remember, we're in the last kind of 8 days of Saturn in Sagittarius here, Wands being fire. So it's still a time where the indecisiveness of Saturn is kind of at work, and the actual go-getter attitude that we can work and make our dreams happen hasn't kind of clicked in yet. That happens on the 20th of December. I've made a video on Saturn in Capricorn. Have a look at that if you're interested. The card is in reverse. So what that means is that you feel free and you feel able to enjoy yourself. And those structures aren't weighing heavily on your shoulders. And you can do what you like and you can enjoy yourself and you can have fun. And you're focused on having fun and you're focused on unburdening yourself, not being particularly responsible, and enjoying yourself. It's a really kind of positive energy. The next card is the Ten of Pentacles, and Ten of Pentacles is about real financial security and financial stability. But what I'm getting with this card today is that, you know, financial stability and owning houses and owning lots of property, it can often be very burdensome. I mean, you have to pay the upkeep. In this case, we've got a young man who's really beautiful, and the problem with people who are really beautiful is as they get older, they lose that beauty, and that's often really painful, and that's why we have this whole industry of plastic surgery and people trying to stay young and look young and all of that stuff, and Hollywood not hiring anyone over 40 and all of that stuff. People who aren't attractive or who haven't been blessed with that kind of physical beauty don't have that problem because they don't lose anything as they get older. Now, this card is in reverse as well. So what that means is that you're not overly concerned with your physical circumstances either. You're not worried about money. You're not worried about your responsibilities as such. You're really footloose and fancy free. You want to have some fun. You're not worried about the credit card bills and the bills coming through the door or your responsibilities in terms of work. And it's really an energy of letting go of things that are painful. And because all of these cards, I mean, especially this card, it looks grim, doesn't it? I mean, we've got the apocalypse ruled by Saturn and then someone kind of skewered by these wands. Not a happy time. So the opposite of that is being free, having fun and enjoying yourself, not worrying about the consequences so much. Doesn't mean you have to go out and take out a £20,000 loan today and go spend it frivolously on a boat or something and then, you know, really be in trouble later on. This is a daily reading. So it just means that your financial burdens and concerns don't weigh as heavily as they usually do, which frees you up to do something. So combined with that card, anything that has to do with making new friends or going on an adventure, attending a function or a party, meeting new people, learning something new that you're interested in, traveling, expanding your knowledge, broadening your horizons, anything like that is really, really going to serve you, and you have the opportunity to do that. Now, finally, we've got the Three of Swords. And it's interesting that I've chosen this deck because the Three of Swords usually represents heartbreak, loss, and betrayal. But what we've got in this deck is we've got these 3 vampire types standing there, and they're almost like the guardians of the swords. So it's like, if you want to feel better, and if you want to pull those swords out of that flower which has been skewered, then you're going to have to go through these people. And what I'm getting for today is that the source of the negativity and the source of the heartbreak is via other people in your life. And if you want to avoid that, feeling bogged down by, let's say this is your landlord, beekeeper landlord, she is really kind of getting on your case and saying, you need to, pay me 6 months in advance, otherwise I'm not going to be extending your lease. That could make you feel burdened down and really kind of skewered with responsibility. This is your financial advisor. He says you need to invest all your money now and you need to tighten your belt because if you don't invest now, you'll miss the opportunity and you're not going to make as much in future. That would be financial concerns and financial worries, and you're not particularly bothered with that at the moment. And the final guy could just be someone, a friend or a family member or someone in your life who's really just negative at the moment, who's bringing you down, maybe someone who's calling you and saying, oh, I'm really just having such a hard time. Why don't you come over and help and support me? And, that's fine to help and support other people. But the message today is that there are lots of things in your life which potentially can kind of bring clouds into your life, can bring negativity into your life. And the ego is using other people on this day to kind of bring negativity into your life. And this is a day where you can really have a wonderful positive experience, a wonderful good time, and rather than reclaiming this old flower, when people say, okay, let's go back to the way things were, especially in relationships, you can't ever go back to the way things were because things happen. And something that would be much more practical and much more positive would be, okay, let's deal with what's happened and let's build a better future. I know it's just pedantic, but that's a better way of looking at things rather than trying to recapture something that was lost. So this is the message here today. Don't try and recapture something that you felt 2 weeks ago or 3 years ago. Instead, reverse this card. Say, I'm not listening to the financial worries. I'm not listening to the responsibilities of my living situation at the moment. And your problems, even though I sympathize and I empathize, I don't have to make those my problems today. And that way, you can turn these two around and really enjoy the wealth and the positivity that you've got in your life, and you can enjoy the fire and the excitement and the passion that you've got in your life, and you can pursue that. So really, I get that this day isn't about, absolving yourself of responsibility and saying, I'm not interested in helping or supporting anyone else, but it's important to have boundaries in place so that these negative figures, which are kind of looming and approaching, that there's a boundary in place that they can't touch you. And they can only touch you if you let them, and only if you want something from them. If you don't want anything to do with them, if you don't want to recapture that flower of happiness, then you don't need to go there. You can go to a florist and buy a new one. And that's what this is about. Stay away from really negative and depressing situations today. Do yourself a favor. Look at the opportunities that are available to you. The fact that you're not bogged down with responsibility, that you're full of passion and excitement and looking at new ways of doing things. And that way you can bring new people into your life, like this beautiful Prince Charming with a dove in his hand. And you can blow up the structures of Saturn a little bit and use these last kind of 8 days of Saturn in Sagittarius to explore and to discover new things. And that could lead you to better situations than the ones you've left behind and that have gone sour anyway. So don't try and reclaim and recapture anything that was lost to you in the past. 10 and 10 is 20. And 3 is 23, 2 and 3 is 5, and 5 is about freedom. So you've got the opportunity really to be free, but you've got a choice. You can either get involved in all of the negative run-of-the-mill circumstances that life presents us with every day, or you can take a day out and go on a trip and enjoy yourself, or learn something new, or have fun a little bit. And the choice is yours. We always have a choice, but really things potentially really open up for you, and that then can bring something much more positive into your life, which means that the future looks more positive. And then you can turn this card around as well, and then you can have a new wonderful flower of love and romance and happiness in your life. And once that's in place, then you won't even remember this old one. Who cares? We only kind of lament the past and the things that we've lost when there's still a vacuum. Once our lives are wonderful again and everything's fab, then we tend to forget about the bad stuff. So it's an opportunity for you to find real freedom in your life today. So don't let that pass you by. Make the most of it and have a wonderful day. So if you'd like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. In my readings, I use astrology, tarot, and numerology. The astrology is a blueprint of your soul. It shows me why you've come back into this lifetime, what your vocational strengths are, what's coming up for you in future, in terms of your love life, in terms of financial responsibilities and income and promotions, in terms of travel, life purpose, moving, compatibility with other people who to kind of keep out of your life, who's positive and who's going to contribute something. All of those things are something that we can look at together. So if you're interested in that, then visit the website, order the reading there. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.